What's up, guys? How you guys doing today? It's the weekend, last day of 2022. Hard to believe. Tomorrow is going to be the first day of 2023. A whole new chapter, a whole new year of movies. 2022 has been a terrific year for horror. I mean, we've had a lot of great movies, including Scream, Smile, The Black Phone, Pearl, Terrifier 2. Hopefully 2023 will be just as good or even a better year for horror. Today I'm happy to give you guys my top 10 list of horror movies of 2022. Movies that I found to be my personal favorites and I thought were some of the best in horror that 2022 had to offer us. So let's kick off the countdown.
Good evening. Welcome to Hawthorne. I'm Julian Slowick, and tonight it'll be our pleasure to feed you.
Number 10, The Menu. This horror thriller dark comedy stars Ralph Fiennes as a chef who invites a group of rich people to his elite restaurant on an island and serves them a multi-course dinner that more or less has different meanings and slowly begins to reveal their deepest, darkest secrets. Among the guests is a young couple played by Anya Taylor-Joy and Nicholas Hoult. Ralph Fiennes deserves an Oscar for his performance because it is very good. Anya Taylor-Joy is also really good in this, as well as Nicholas Hoult. John Leguizamo also plays a supporting role, which I also loved him in Violent Night as well. I thought he was really good in this, but yeah, this is this isn't your traditional horror film. This has more of some dark comedy in it, major thriller, but there are some kills in this I thought were really shocked the hell out of me. Definitely one of the best of 2022, in my opinion. So if you haven't seen The Menu, go check it out.
Holly.
Number 9, Smile. This is one of the biggest surprises of the year. After I saw the trailer for this movie, I thought it was going to be another generic horror film, kind of like Truth or Dare. But what we actually got was actually a very surprising and effective horror thriller that does give us some of those vibes, but they do it in a much better way. It has elements of The Ring and It Follows. But it executes very, very well. And basically, it's about this entity called the Smile, in a way that kind of preys on people and uses trauma as a way to get to them. And this woman, this therapist, played by Sosie Bacon, who gives a really good performance, has to investigate to figure out exactly what this entity is before it's too late. And she discovers a whole new backstory. But it's definitely one of the surprises of 2022. Go check it out.
It's in a cloud. It's in a cloud.
OJ! It's in the cloud! Run, OJ! Run!
Number 8, Nope. The third entry in Jordan Peele's filmography following Get Out and Us. This film follows a brother and sister played by Keke Palmer and Daniel Kaluuya, who discover this alien life form in the sky that takes the form of a UFO, and they try to get footage of it so they can make money off of it. What they do discover is that this UFO is not really a UFO at all. It's something much more terrifying. I saw this in the theater. I was actually really anticipating this, and for the most part, it's a very entertaining movie. From a visual standpoint, it's spectacular. I mean, the excellent camera work is definitely one of Jordan Peele's most ambitious attempt, and for the most part, he succeeds. Great performances from Keke Palmer and Daniel Kaluuya. Some great side characters as well. A great performance also by Michael Wincott. But I'm definitely looking forward to what else he has up his sleeve, because I know that it's going to be pretty spectacular. So if you haven't seen Nope yet, go check it out.
Oh, tell me your name.
Taylor. Sailor Moon.
I was really starting to like you, Finny.
Number 7, The Black Phone. This was a movie that I was definitely looking forward to. Stars Ethan Hawke as the Grabber, a serial killer who kidnaps a boy and keeps him locked in his basement. And he has this like weird looking mask or whatever. It's probably going to be one of the newest iconic masks. And this boy, he has to do whatever he can to try to outsmart the Grabber and escape before it's too late. This was one of the best movies of the year for me. Ethan Hawke is terrific as the Grabber. He's really the standout in this movie. I love the fact that it's set in 1978 because that was the year that my favorite horror film of all time came out, Halloween. But it's set in the late 70s. Great camera work. Performances are terrific. The Black Phone, definitely a movie that's definitely worth checking out. Like I said, I think it's one of Ethan Hawke's best that he has ever done in his career. Number 6, Halloween Ends. Yep, I've got Halloween Ends close to the halfway point. I mean, what can I say that hasn't already been said about it? I know this is one of those divisive movies. So this is supposed to be the finale between Michael Myers and Laurie Strode. But what we actually got is like this kind of love story with Allison, Laurie's granddaughter, and this new character, Corey Cunningham. And I'm just going to say this. I didn't mind that. I didn't mind it at all. You know, I know Michael Myers kind of felt kind of sidelined, and he was. I will admit that. You know, that I applaud him for doing something fresh and unique and different, and instead of the same old routine slasher. And I got to give him credit for that. Jamie Lee Curtis is terrific as Laurie Strode. Once again, I thought Andi Matichak was great. I thought her performance in this was actually better than it was in Halloween and Halloween Kills. James G. Courtney is great once again as Michael Myers, even though his screen time is a little limited. Rowan Campbell, I thought he was good as Corey. I really did. You know, the kills were really good. So there was some really good ones. I think my favorite kill in this movie was the DJ. Yeah. Hold your tongue, man. You're not gonna need it anymore. But yeah, Halloween Ends definitely is definitely a divisive movie that's gonna be talked about for years to come. Hopefully, we won't have to wait too long for another one. But Halloween Ends, it's still one of my favorites of the year.
If I'm meant to live out the rest of my days with you and Daddy on this farm, then so be it. But I'm only young once. But I have to know that I tried, or I'm gonna regret it for the rest of my life. Please, Mama, you have no idea what I'm capable of.
Coming in at number 5, Pearl. Yes, this was the prequel to the movie that came out earlier in the year, in March, I believe, Up to X. This movie follows the early days of Pearl, played by Mia Goth, who also played old Pearl in X, as well as Maxine. This is not your typical slasher movie. That it's kind of one of those slow burn movies. Mia Goth just gives one of the best performances of the year, best horror performances, I might add. She's absolutely terrific. She is totally talented, and if she doesn't get an Oscar nomination for this role, I'm just gonna scream. And it's just it's terrific. I mean, there's a lot of intense scenes that the psychological uneasiness that she gives to the audience is just wow. And there's just a lot of scenes in this movie that are just so unsettling, and it's just one of those creepy from everywhere from the scarecrow scene, you know what I'm talking about if you've seen it, to the very end during the end credits when she's just smiling and you can see her crying there, man. And also this 5 or 6 minute monologue that she gives. It's an Oscar worthy performance for sure. Pearl is definitely one of the best. It's in my top 5, so I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Go check it out if you haven't seen it.
Okay, that'll be $32.25.
I think I left my bag downstairs.
Coming in at number 4 is Terrifier 2. This is a sequel to the 2017 Terrifier, which features the sadistic killer clown, Art, who terrorizes a group of girls on Halloween and basically turns Halloween night into a bloodbath. And I mean, a real bloodbath. Now it's several years later, and he's returned to do it again. And now he terrorizes another girl, played by Lauren Levine, who's absolutely terrific, by the way, and her friends and family, and creates more bloody havoc on Halloween. Now, the original Terrifier, I actually enjoyed. I really did. I agree with a lot of the other fans that there's not really much of a story, and there really isn't. There's not much character development at all. The best thing about it, also, I mean, overall, is art. You know, and the gore. I mean, the practical effects is just amazing. The gore scenes, and then you get to this one, and this one is definitely a huge step up. I mean, it has a story, some great character development, especially not only from Art the Clown, played magnificently from David Howard Thornton, but also Laura Levine's character, as the final, one of the best final girls, I think, in horror. She's actually really good in her performance. Just the kills are like cranked up to 11. I mean, it is just freaking crazy. Anywhere, and I would not be the one to be having salt and bleach poured onto a wound, because that shit would freaking hurt like a motherfucker. But yeah, Terrifier 2, definitely another big surprise this year in horror. If you haven't seen Terrifier 2, despite its long run time, I didn't feel it. If you haven't seen it, go check it out.
Hey. The laundry's still in wash. It's gonna be a bit, and I thought I'm gonna have some of this here wine, but I didn't want to open it before you got out of the shower. But I thought that you know, you might want some of this. But if I open it while you weren't here, I thought you wouldn't want any if you didn't see me open it. So I waited.
I'm good.
Now we're getting into my top 3. This is actually pretty close. But my number 3 pick is Barbarian. It's definitely a movie that you didn't need to see the trailer for, because you want to walk in this movie with no knowledge of what it's about. Basically, this young woman who is played by Georgina Campbell shows up at this bed and breakfast on this rainy night and finds out that a stranger or someone else has already booked it, and there's been some confusion. So they're trying to work that out, and eventually they discover something down in the basement that is crazy. And basically you don't want to know anything about it. It's just some crazy shit, let's just say that. This is definitely a bonkers movie. You have a crazy ass villain in this movie, and it's just gory as fuck. Great performances from Georgina Campbell for sure. I think then when you have another character show up, played by Justin Long, he is really good as well. You know, you're like, first when he shows up, you're like, where the hell did he come from? But you find out he has a big connection to this house. And the backstory that they choose to tell about this creature is actually pretty interesting. I thought it was really good. It's definitely one of the best of 2022. So Barbarian, definitely worth checking out.
Bonus question, Tara.
Number 2, Scream 5. Yep, Scream 5, it's my number 2. Not many franchises can have a movie that really succeeds very well. And especially, and if you can do that, you deserve to be in my top 2. And I absolutely love Scream 5. I really did. I mean, I prefer it. Like I said, that's why it's number 2 and not number 6 or 7, because I liked it better than Halloween Ends, because it's a much better movie. It's made a lot better. It gives Scream fans what they want. And basically, it's the return of Ghostface, and you have this new group of characters led by Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega, who play sisters. And they're really good in this movie. And they're basically having to face the wrath of Ghostface, who has returned in what they call a requel, which is actually mentioned in the movie. So definitely one of the best sequels in the franchise. It is my second favorite sequel in the franchise, third favorite entry in the franchise overall. I can't wait for Scream 6. I mean, I'm just eagerly anticipating for another trailer, but hopefully they won't show us too much. But it's definitely something that I'm really looking forward to. And I can't wait. Like I said, Jenna Ortega is terrific in this movie. David Arquette is really good as well. As he's one of the 3 legacy characters that do return, even though he has more screen time than Courtney Cox and Neve Campbell does. But when it got to that one scene where what happens, it broke my heart. It really did. And if you're a fan of Dewey's, you know that he's one of the best characters in the franchise because he's been in every single one. And you just can't help but be emotional over it. And so, yeah. But other than that, I mean, Scream 5 is definitely one of the best sequels that was released this year, along with sequels like Terrifier 2 and Pearl, which is actually a prequel. And then Halloween Ends, for me, I enjoyed that. And then, definitely, Scream 5, number 2. Before I get to my number 1 pick, I want to give a shout out to my honorable mentions. First off, Beast, starring Idris Elba. Great performance from Idris Elba. Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. Definitely a divisive movie among fans and critics. Actually, critics loved it. Actually, fans are kind of divisive over it. Great performances. A really good whodunit horror thriller. Best performance in it, I believe, was from Rachel Sennott. Next up is Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I find that entertaining enough. It's messy, insufferable characters, but the kills are pretty damn good. And I think the actor that played Leatherface in this one did a really good job as well. Where the movie actually does fall apart is the whole Sally returning and they're trying to pull this Halloween 2018 thing on us, and it just did not work. I mean, once she met up with Leatherface, she didn't last very long. And honestly, I mean, I might have been the only one, but I didn't see the ending coming. But it did happen. It's very satisfying. Next up, Day Shift. This is a movie that stars Jamie Foxx. He's basically a vampire hunter who has to hunt vampires and try to save this town. I found this really enjoyable. It's not the best vampire movie by far, but it's a lot of fun. It's not bad. Definitely not bad. It's not great either, but Jamie Foxx is definitely one of the best things about the movie. But yeah, if you haven't seen Day Shift, if you like vampire movies and you like silly action comedy, horror elements to it, go check it out. Next up, Christmas Bloody Christmas. That is definitely an honorable mention. It's a damn good holiday horror film. Some great main characters. You have a great antagonist in this robotic Santa Claus that goes crazy and starts killing people. And I have to give a shout out to Abraham Ben Ruby. You were awesome at this Killer Santa. You had the robotic movements right. I mean, definitely. And I didn't even realize that was him until after I saw the credits, and I was like, "Holy shit, that's Abraham Ben Ruby! I know him from Without a Paddle and George of the Jungle." Really good, man. You done good. Christmas Bloody Christmas. If you hadn't called it yet, it's on Shudder. Go check it out. It's definitely a good one to watch. It's kind of like a cross between Terminator, Chopping Mall, Silent Night, Deadly Night. Big mishmash of those three movies, and it's a lot of fun. It really is. So, Christmas Bloody Christmas. Go check it out. Orphan First Kill. Really enjoyed this one. Stars Isabel Fuhrman from the original. This was one that I wasn't really anticipating. I really wasn't, but it's definitely a big surprise for damn sure. The camera trickery that they use to manipulate the fact that she hasn't changed at all, and given this is a prequel to the original, gotta give props to them. They really succeeded there. Julia Stiles, man, Julia Stiles is really good in this movie as well. And then about in the third act, man, it takes a twist that you never would see coming, and I absolutely enjoyed it. It's definitely one that definitely should be caught. It's on Paramount Plus. Go check it out if you haven't seen it. Monstrous. This is one I don't think very people have seen. This movie I thought was really good. I think it deserved a little honorable mention because Christina Ricci does a really good job in this movie as this mother who tries to protect her son from this creature that has invaded her house. It's really good. It really is, and it has a twist ending that really I did not see coming. And I thought she was really good. I think it's severely underrated this year, and it wasn't talked about much at all. I watched it. I've only watched it once, but I really enjoyed it, and it's definitely one that I kind of remember. So if you haven't seen Monstrous, I would go check it out. And then finally, Fresh. This was one that I wasn't really amped up to see either, but it was on Hulu, so I figured I'll check it out. Wow, this was definitely a good one. Sebastian Stan really kicks ass, and the girl who plays the girl that's down on her luck, she's really good as well. But Sebastian Stan, I think he's the major standout in this movie. He really killed it, literally, and wow. He knows how to act, and it's funny because this is the same guy that I first saw in Hot Tub Time Machine back in 2010 as the douchebag that Rob Corddry's character has to deal with all the time, and he is really good in this movie, very good. If you haven't seen Fresh and we got Hulu, go check it out. And now, for my number one pick. Yep, my number one pick is going to be X. Yes, definitely the best horror film of 2022, in my opinion. Definitely a term for the slasher genre, one of the best slasher movies there is. Starring Mia Goth, who, she does 3 performances in 1 year in 2 movies, and she's got another one coming out next year, which is the sequel to this, and I can't wait to see it, Maxine. And I'm ready for it. But yeah, this follows a group of filmmakers who are looking to make an adult film at this farm in Texas, owned by this elderly couple. They're really creepy. And unbeknownst to them, they don't realize that filmmakers are going to be making a porn film from right under their noses, and they don't like it. When they find out they are, yeah, these people start getting picked off one by one. This isn't your basic slasher movie by far. It has a dirty 70s artsy feel to it. Great performances, like I said, from Mia Goth. Brittany Snow is really good in this movie. Kid Cudi, Martin Henderson, Jen Ortega. I mean, Jen Ortega has had a breakout stellar year with this, with Scream, with Wednesday. She is going to be a big star, and I know that she's got a lot more stuff coming up next year, including Scream 6. I can't wait to see her once again in that. But yeah, Mia Goth's the one to talk about here because she is just absolutely terrific because she plays two different roles in this movie as the elderly woman and Maxine. She's terrific. I mean, if she doesn't get at least an Oscar nomination for any of these roles that she's been doing. But yeah, X, definitely the best horror film of the year. And you know, I have to mention this. The first kill in this movie, I just cheered because it was a tribute to my favorite horror film of all time, Halloween. When it started playing Don't Fear the Reaper from Blue Oyster Cult, and that blood was going everywhere amidst the headlights, creating this beautiful red lighting, I just couldn't help but cheer because that was the first thing I thought of when I heard that song and saw that visual. I was like, Halloween, yes, yes, yes. I love it because that's what this movie, I mean, it's got the Texas Chainsaw Massacre style. It's got that Halloween because there's another scene that kind of shows the elderly man kind of at a distance, kind of stalking and like staring at the filmmakers from a distance. You can see him like from behind a tree, and it gave me that Michael Myers feeling where he's like just standing there, you know, just like watching, and it was really creepy, and definitely a movie to check out. If you hadn't seen X, you're missing out. It's one of the best horror movies it's the best horror movie of the year for me. One of the best slasher movies of all time. Well, that's it, guys. That's my top 10 horror movies of all time of 2022. I want to thank you guys for checking out my video. Thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. It really means a lot to me. Don't forget to like it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Comment down below. I love you guys. You guys are the best. And I'll be getting my top 10 movies of 2022 ready for you guys. And I will see you in the next one.